Everyone in Red Valley knew the abandoned mine on the hill. It sat above town like a dark reminder of older days. The wooden beams were cracked and the gate was bent. Weeds grew around the stone entrance. People told children to stay away from it. They said it was empty and useless. They said it was unsafe and cursed with bad luck. Most of the time they did not even look at it. They treated it like a problem that belonged to the past. Lena was not from the past. She was from the present that nobody wanted to talk about. She was a homeless mom with a quiet voice and a steady face. Her son Noah was 7 and small for his age. They slept in an old van near the river where the ground stayed damp. Lena kept their space clean as if it were a real home. She folded a blanket the same way each morning. She wiped the glass when it fogged. She kept a small jar for coins and a small bag for food. Noah went to school when he could, and Lena made sure he never felt ashamed. She told him that life could change fast, and it could change again. Before the hard times, Lena had a small apartment and a normal routine. She worked in a diner and saved whatever she could. Her husband worked odd jobs and tried his best. When he got sick, everything shifted. Lena watched the strength leave his body day by day. Bills came in stacks that felt heavier than bricks. She begged for extra shifts. She borrowed money that she could not repay. When he passed away, Lena did not even have time to grieve. She had to keep moving, keep earning, keep standing. One mistake led to another mistake. One late payment became many late payments. The apartment was gone before she understood how fast it happened. The town did not chase her away. The town did something colder than that. It looked through her, as if she were air. People passed her at the gas station and did not. Lena did not wait for approval from anyone. She began walking to the mine every morning after taking Noah to school. She carried a small notebook and a borrowed flashlight. Inside the mine she moved slowly and carefully. The walls were rough and cold. Water dripped from the ceiling in thin lines. The floor was uneven but solid. She marked safe paths with chalk. She counted steps and measured space with her eyes. She imagined light where darkness lived. The first thing she did was clean. She removed broken wood and rusted metal. She stacked stones near the entrance. She cleared old trash left by years of neglect. Her hands ached, but she did not stop. Each day she worked until her arms shook. She rested only when the sun dipped low. She told herself that effort was cheaper than hope. Noah joined her after school. He carried a small broom made from tied branches. He asked questions with careful curiosity. He wanted to know what the mine was before. Lena explained it once helped feed the town. She said people once depended on it to survive. Noah listened and nodded. He liked the idea that old places could matter again. One evening Lena noticed something unusual. The deeper part of the mine stayed warm even when the air outside grew cold. She placed her hands on the stone wall and felt steady heat. She sat still and thought for a long time. The earth held warmth like a secret. She wrote notes in her notebook with shaking excitement. The next day she visited the library. She read books about underground spaces. She learned how Earth could hold steady temperatures. She learned about growing plants without sunlight. She studied quietly while Noah read comics beside her. The librarian watched with interest but said nothing. Lena began to plan. She drew simple sketches. She marked areas for safety and airflow. She listed what she would need. Most of the items were cheap or free. Buckets, old pipes, clear plastic mirrors, and soil were written on the page. She smiled for the first time in months. At night she worked by lantern light. She fixed cracks with clay and stone. She made simple air vents using pipes she found near a scrapyard. She tested airflow with paper strips. She learned from trial and error. Failure did not scare her anymore. The town noticed movement near the mine. A few people stopped their cars and stared. They whispered about what she was doing. Some laughed and shook their heads. Some felt uneasy. They had accepted the mine as dead. Seeing life return to it made them uncomfortable. One afternoon a shop owner named Mark walked up the hill. He asked Lena what she was building. His tone was not kind but not cruel. Lena answered calmly. She said she was creating a place to grow food. Mark laughed once and looked around. He said nothing more and walked away. Lena did not feel embarrassed. She felt focused. She planted the first seeds in small containers. She used mirrors to guide light into narrow paths. She watered carefully and waited. Days passed slowly. Noah checked the soil every morning. Then one morning something green appeared. A small leaf pushed through the soil. Lena stared at it as if it were a miracle. Noah clapped softly and smiled wide. She touched the leaf gently and felt tears rise. She wiped her face quickly and laughed. More leaves followed. The mine began to change. Damp stone now smelled of earth and growth. The warmth helped the plants thrive. Lena adjusted her system patiently. She recorded what worked and what failed. She improved airflow and water flow. Weeks passed and the plants grew stronger. Lettuce, herbs and small vegetables filled the space. The mine no longer felt empty. It felt alive. People from town began to talk. Rumors spread quickly. Some said she was wasting time. Some said she was clever. Children rode bikes past the hill to peek inside. They saw green rows and soft light. Their parents followed with surprise. The librarian visited quietly one evening. She brought a box of old gardening books. She said nothing at first. Then she said the town had forgotten how to use what it already had. Lena thanked her with a tired smile. Soon others came. A retired worker offered spare tools. A teacher brought seeds. A mechanic fixed a broken pipe. No one announced their help. They simply showed up. The mine became a place of quiet work and shared purpose. Lena still slept in the van. She still struggled daily. But something had shifted. The town was watching now. They expected her to fail. They expected the mine to collapse into silence again. But each day the plants grew taller. Each day Lena stood straighter. The abandoned mine was no longer forgotten. It was becoming something the town could not ignore. Lena woke before sunrise as she always did. The van was cold and quiet. Noah slept curled under the blanket with calm breaths. Lena stepped outside and looked toward the hill. The mine waited like a promise she had to keep. She washed her face in the river and felt ready. At the mine entrance the air felt warmer than the morning breeze. The plants inside stood taller now. Leaves spread wide and strong. Lena checked the water lines and adjusted the mirrors. She moved slowly and listened to the sounds of the place. Drips had become steady rhythms. The mine felt like a living room that welcomed her. Noah arrived after school with a paper bag of bread ends. He shared them with Lena and watched the plants. He asked how long until they could share the food. Lena said soon and smiled. She showed him how to trim leaves without hurting the plant. Noah took the task seriously. He learned patience and care. Word traveled through Red Valley like wind. People talked at the diner and the gas station. They argued about the mine. Some said it was unsafe. Some said it was smart. Others stayed quiet and listened. The town council called a meeting. They wanted to discuss the mine and its future. Lena attended the meeting with clean clothes borrowed from a neighbor. She stood in the back and listened. The council spoke about safety and ownership. They asked if she had permits and plans. Lena answered clearly and without fear. She explained airflow and water control. She spoke about food access and shared work. The room grew quiet. A man named Paul stood and asked why she deserved the mine. Lena looked at him and spoke calmly. She said she did not deserve it more than anyone. She said she used it because no one else would. She said the town could use it too. Her words landed softly but firmly. After the meeting, a woman named Anna approached Lena. Anna ran a small kitchen for community meals. She asked if Lena could provide fresh greens. Lena said yes with careful honesty. They agreed to try a small delivery. It would be free at first. Lena wanted people to taste the result of patience. The first harvest day felt unreal. Lena and Noah cut leaves and packed them gently. The color was deep and alive. They carried the boxes down the hill together. People watched from porches and sidewalks. Some smiled. Some looked surprised. At the kitchen, Anna washed the greens and served them at lunch. People ate quietly. Then they asked questions. They asked where it came from and how it grew. Anna pointed to the hill. The room filled with murmurs. Requests followed quickly. A teacher asked for a lesson visit. A nurse asked about nutrition. A shop owner asked to buy a small amount. Lena listened and wrote notes. She did not promise more than she could give. She learned to say later and soon. The mine grew busier. Volunteers helped on weekends. They repaired paths and added shelves. Someone donated solar lights for the entrance. Another person brought fans to improve airflow. Lena guided each change carefully. She protected the balance she had built. Noah made friends at the mine. He showed them how to water and measure growth. He felt proud and steady. His teachers noticed a change. He spoke with confidence and kindness. He talked about responsibility and teamwork. Not everyone approved. A group complained about traffic near the hill. They said the mine could fail and cause trouble. The council asked for inspections. Inspectors came and walked the tunnels. They checked supports and vents. They asked questions and took notes. Lena answered everything. She had prepared. The report came back with conditions. Safety rails were needed. Clear signs were required. Emergency plans had to be posted. Lena agreed to all of it. Volunteers helped meet every condition. The mine passed inspection. With approval came trust. With trust came ideas. A small workshop formed to teach growing methods. Teens learned skills and earned credit. Older workers shared stories and advice. The mine became a classroom and a garden. Lena still slept in the van at night. She saved what little money came in. She refused to rush. She wanted stability more than comfort. Noah asked when they would move. Lena said soon but not yet. She wanted the mine to stand on its own first. A storm hit Red Valley one night. Rain poured hard and long. The river rose and roads closed. The mine stayed steady and warm. The plants survived. The lights stayed on. Volunteers checked in by phone. Lena felt relief and pride. After the storm, the town needed help. The kitchen served more meals. The mine provided fresh food when trucks could not arrive. People noticed the difference. They thanked Lena openly. She accepted thanks quietly. The council proposed a partnership. They wanted to support the mine and expand its reach. Lena listened and asked questions. She asked for fairness and protection. She asked for a path to housing for her and Noah. The council agreed to work toward it. As weeks passed, the mine became a symbol. It showed what effort and care could do. It showed how ignored spaces could serve again. The town changed its tone. People greeted Lena by name. Children waved at Noah. One evening, Lena stood at the entrance and watched the sunset. The hill glowed softly. The mine hummed with quiet work inside. She felt tired and strong at the same time. She knew the story was not over. The town waited to see what would come next. Lena had already decided. Lena felt the change before anyone announced it. The mine no longer felt like a secret project. It felt like a shared responsibility. People arrived early and stayed late. They treated the space with respect and care. Lena watched quietly and learned how trust grows. The council finalized the partnership after weeks of discussion. They offered support and clear rules. They promised stability and protection. Lena signed the agreement with steady hands. She knew papers mattered now. She knew the mine had become more than her idea. Construction began near the entrance to build a small above-ground shelter. It was simple and strong. It held tools and supplies. Solar panels rested on the roof. The lights glowed softly at night. The hill looked different. It looked awake. The mine expanded its work slowly. New sections opened with caution. More plants grew in careful rows. The air moved smoothly through improved vents. Water flowed with balance and control. Lena trained volunteers with patience. She taught them why slow progress mattered. Noah helped after school and on weekends. He learned numbers by counting plants. He learned writing by labeling shelves. He learned kindness by welcoming visitors. He smiled more often now. His shoulders stood straighter. The kitchen reported fewer shortages. Meals became richer and fresher. People noticed the taste. They noticed how food changed their mood. They asked questions about growing and sharing. The mine became part of daily conversations. A small market day began once a week. Tables stood near the hill. Baskets held greens and herbs. Prices stayed low and fair. Money covered costs and small savings. Lena tracked every detail. She planned for repairs and future growth. The town offered Lena a small home near the river. It was modest and clean. It had 2 rooms and strong walls. Lena accepted with quiet gratitude. She moved in slowly. She wanted Noah to feel safe. The first night in the new home felt strange. The silence was deeper. The roof held steady against the wind. Lena sat on the floor and breathed. Noah slept in his own bed and smiled in his dreams. Life settled into a rhythm. Mornings began with school and work. Evenings ended with planning and rest. The mine ran with shared leadership. Lena stepped back when needed. She trusted others to care as she did. Visitors came from nearby towns. They asked how it started. Lena told the truth simply. She said she used what was ignored. She said she worked every day. She said people helped when they saw purpose. A reporter asked for an interview. Lena agreed with conditions. She wanted the focus on the work, not her struggle. The story spread anyway. People learned about the mine and the town. Messages arrived with support and questions. Lena chose carefully what to accept. She refused fast money and risky plans. She wanted the mine to last. She wanted it to teach patience. The council approved a training program. Young people learned skills and earned income. Older workers shared guidance. The mine became a bridge between generations. Noah presented a project at school about the mine. He spoke clearly and calmly. His classmates listened. His teacher smiled with pride. Lena watched from the back of the room. Her eyes filled with quiet joy. The hill changed with the seasons. Rain came and went. Heat rose and faded. The mine stayed steady. Plants grew and rested. Work continued with care. One evening the town gathered near the entrance. They held a small celebration. There was food and music and laughter. The lights glowed against the stone. Lena stood with Noah and looked around. The mayor spoke briefly. He thanked the workers and volunteers. He thanked Lena for believing when others did not. He said the town had learned something important. Lena did not speak long. She said the mine belonged to effort and care. She said places matter when people show up. She said hope grows when someone chooses to act. The crowd applauded softly. The sound echoed gently against the hill. Later that night Lena walked the tunnels alone. She checked the plants and lights. She listened to the steady hum of life. She felt calm and complete. She thought about the first day she stood at the entrance. She remembered the fear and doubt. She remembered the choice to try. The mine had given the town more than food. It had given them a mirror. It showed what could happen when no one looks away. Lena turned off the lights one by one. She closed the gate carefully. She walked down the hill with Noah beside her. The town slept peacefully. The mine rested quietly. A future built from patience stood strong beneath the ground.